Imagine, if you can, a world where I have purchased this motorbike. Now imagine in that same world that I, your host, Errol, has indeed got no knowledge about motorbikes. Admittedly, that's quite easy to do. But in that same world, let's just imagine that I have in my pocket 1,150 of the UK British pounds, there they are flapping around, to spend on this bike to make it a better bike for me. Admittedly, these aren't UK pounds because I didn't have any to hand because it's a bit of a cashless society now. These are all dollars left over from an older trip. I don't know why I haven't cashed them in. This isn't relevant to the video. I'll get back to it and flap them around. Right, where were we? Yes, 1,150 pounds of the money to throw at this bike. Well, you need not worry, you need not panic, you need not imagine anymore. I have indeed entered that world, we live in it right now. I have purchased said bike. I have 1,150 pounds to throw at that bike. And mostly importantly, that is not very impressive. I did it earlier and it went all over the place. I'm going to do that again. Right, pretend that last take never happened. Let's get it done properly. Where were we? Take two. Yes, I do indeed have 1,150 pounds to throw at the bike to make it better for me. But I really do need your help because, as I said, I know nothing about motorbikes, really, not a great deal. So please help me.
So sick, so sick, so sick of love. So sick of love.
Hello, welcome, thanks for tuning in, I really do appreciate it. If you're new to this channel then, now's a great opportunity to press that subscribe button just there. I really would appreciate it. Personally, I think the video's had a really strong opener so far with me throwing money around. Who doesn't like that? Doesn't mean it's going to get any better. I mean, it might go better, it might just plateau out a little bit. Might go downhill a bit. No one ever watches the ends of these videos, do they really? But they're the chances you take, aren't they? But I would appreciate it if you press that subscribe, that'd be great. So, first question. Why do I have 1,150 pounds, bit of an odd number, to spend on this bike? And to answer that, I need to talk about my last video, because I had two bikes, Honda Africa Twin 2018 and a Honda Transalp, and I couldn't keep both of them. Here's a little update for you. Oh shit! Oh, I tell you what, it makes my heart go. I can't keep both of these bikes. Now, I know what the manual says about being a bike rider, that you're supposed to keep every single bike you've ever owned, and upon death you've got to pass them down to your firstborn or have them buried with you, but under the circumstances, one of them's got to go because I've got to buy another bike. Going back to it. So, the question is, which one's gonna go? I am far too emotionally invested in both of these bikes now, and I can't make a rational decision. My initial instinct was I really wanted to keep this because I always wanted an Africa Twin. There's something about this in my heart I love more at the moment. Well, that's as fast as I'm gonna go because I'm too scared. Now, I genuinely really like both of those bikes, but as I say, one had to go. And I did read all of your comments. A lot of people did say, actually, I should sell both of them and buy the brand new Africa Twin. And that might happen in a couple of years, but because I'm quite new to bikes, I'm not going to do that just yet. And the Transalp was brand new as well. It's only like a year old, hardly any miles on it. So I took the advice of most people, and I was leaning that way anyway, and I've decided to keep the Transalp, and the Africa Twin had to go. Oh. I know, but the game's not over yet. I will get one in the future. I sold the Africa Twin for £5,650, which I think was a good price, bearing in mind it was a Category M, which means it had a bit of body damage to it, which I had put back together myself. Admittedly, it cost me £6,000 all told to buy the bike with the fees, the auction fees, and putting it all back together. But I had owned it for 6 months, so a bit of loss, it's not too bad, I can live with that. So that left me with £1,150 left over in the kitty. And the reason why is because I bought this bike about a week after for £4,500. Now, the previous owner tells me he hasn't been off-road with it, but he has been to Portugal and back. It's got 3,000 miles on the clock. It's got a few upgrades. It's got the clutch and the brake lever. They've been replaced. It's got a big boot foot pedal thing, you know, on the bottom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's got heated grips. Who wants heated grips though? So other than that, it's a really, really clean bike. And again, you know what I'm like, it was a little bit of an impulse buy, but this has been on my wish list for a long, long time. And it was the right one, it came along and I just thought, I've got the money, let's do it. I suppose at this stage I need to be honest with myself and with you about what exactly I'm going to be using this bike for. Because it is the rally, you might think I'd be going on a lot more journeys where I'd be putting my luggage on the back and so forth, because it's got the longer range tank, it's all bigger up here. I could have gone for just something like a 250 CRF and saved a lot more money, I suppose. But in the long term, I do want to do more off-road stuff. Now, when I first got into bikes, that was the original goal. That's how I went to Mongolia. I thought this is the direction I want to go in. But in all fairness, I haven't done a great deal off-roading whatsoever. And I bought the Trans out because I thought that would tick all the boxes. And yeah, it's a fantastic bike. Can I see myself going crazy off-road? No, I can't, because I haven't got the confidence or that experience yet. That's where this comes in. So for the next year, I want to practice, lots of practice. And I can see myself putting this in the back of my van, driving up north, and then getting it out and doing lots of practice there. So no camping gear on it as such. I live in Canterbury, down in the southeast of England. Yeah, we've got green lanes here and there, but they're really kind of spread out and what have you. The best stuff's up north, don't you know? The thing is, we've got this thing in the way, it's called London, and the M25 round the bottom by Heathrow, well, that's a load of old crap, isn't it? And across Dartford Bridge Tunnel up round the top there, oh, that's a load of old crap. I don't think I'm really going to get on the motorway with this and do a couple of 100 miles to get somewhere to go off-roading. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to shove it in the back of my van. I know I am. That's being honest. That's what I'm going to do. So I could have gone for a cheaper bike. Yes, I could have gone for a 250, a much older one that's already beaten up, but I'm going to try and keep this. I want to try and get it set up the way I want it. That's why I need your help. Yes, I've looked at loads of stuff online. I understand there are lots of things I can do. So I'm going to go through a few bits, what I think. And please do let me know in the comments below if I should or if I shouldn't.
Yay!
Okay, so first off, keep it easy. Do I get some body protection? The bars that run around here, I think they're a couple of £100, something like that. I'm going to drop it. Of course I am. It's going to happen. But how expensive are these? I'll add a bit of weight. Yeah, sure, but I don't think that's much of an issue. Is it worth me putting that top protection on? That's the first thing I've been thinking about. Second thing, let's talk about the handlebars. These are the standard factory steel bars. I know loads of people change these out for either a fatter bar. Do I do that? Do I like the handle position at the moment? Well, I haven't ridden it enough to really quantify that, whether or not I feel comfortable. I'm still getting used to it. But is it worth changing this out? If I have a bad fall, will they bend? I don't know. So that's one thing I am considering as well. I also know that Rally Raid do a stage 1 setup for this bike as well. And should I consider changing the rear spring and shock out for the Rally Raid one? I think it's about £523 at the minute. I've read the website and it does say, I don't know if I got this right, does it lower the bike a little bit? Because obviously when I sit on the bike, it goes down a bit as well, but it also says about it maintains the stock height. This is something I'm not sure about. So do I put the money into that as well? I've also been thinking about the side pegs, for instance. I think these are the standard factory issue ones. Is it worth getting bigger pegs? Will that really help? I guess it will. I've got a bit of protection here already, so my boots don't wear all this out, but shall I get something, this is only tape to be honest with you, look. Maybe I need something a bit better than that. What about the clutch pedal as well? I see you can buy upgraded versions of those. Is that liable to break? Is that a weak point? I don't know. And what about the front suspension? Do I throw even more money and put the Rally Raid front kit on stage 1? Yeah, I don't know my money's going to stretch that far. Yeah, lots to think about. I gotta say, I genuinely do like the look of this bike. I like the double headlights. I love the red, but I kind of feel I want to make it more personal. I want to change these stickers out. I want to get a nice decal set on it, you know, maybe a full wrap. I don't know. Yeah, I know it's a vanity thing, I know, but I want to make it more personal to me. I want to be able to look at it and think, yep, that is my bike and not just a generic 300 rally. Yeah, I can see me throwing a little bit of money in that direction, that's for sure. Right, there is one other thing I want to show you as well. Do I think about lowering it or not? Because we know that underneath you can buy the, is it a swing arm, I think? I can't remember. And it lowers it a little bit. I guess we need to see me sitting on it and see how it looks. So I'll chuck the bike over there and hopefully you'll get a better idea. I'll get some good advice off you. Right, so I've got the bike on a slightly better bit of ground so you can see where my feet are. I'm 5'10", inside seam is 31.5, I do believe. Right. So, with that up, sitting in there, yeah, you know, I'm kind of on tiptoes. And I know it's not the big deal, but I've got to have both feet on the ground. And because it's a lighter bike, I find this, when I get to junctions, it's not a problem, just, you know, moving my bum to one side, getting a foot down and so forth, it's perfectly fine. I found with the Trans Alp, it was just that much heavier. That's why I got the lowered seat on that one. But do you think I need to lower this? I don't know. My heart says that, yeah, if I just lowered it a little bit, I'll just feel a bit more confident. So yeah, if you can let me know what you think, that'd be brilliant. Oh, that reminds me. One other thing. What about bash plate, skid plate under here? I know this is all just plastic here. I'm not planning on going over rocks and big logs and so forth. Is it worth me getting that aluminium one there? It's again a couple of £100. Well, at this stage, that is pretty much all the things I'm unsure about, all the questions that I want to put to you that I'm really hoping you can help me with. I suppose what I need to do now is maybe go out for a ride on it. What I'm thinking for the end of this video, just over there's a small byway, bit of a green lane. It's not very long, but it's all uphill through the woods, a bit washed out, a bit gnarly in places. I went up there a couple of days ago. I won't lie to you, I was a little bit scared going up there on this bike, but I kind of figured I've got to keep doing it and I'll get better and better at it, and hopefully I won't fall off. So I'm going to do that now, and hopefully you'll stick around and watch that. And if you enjoy that, please do give me a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video where, after I read all your comments and your advice, I might have a few bits that I can start transforming this bike. That'd be brilliant. Anything I've forgotten, please do mention it, because I'm sure there's loads of things, maybe about the sprocket or the chain, I don't know. Any advice you got, I really would appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the next clip.
Right, well, here we go. This is my local byway. Got a few little steps at the very beginning, and yes, this is only the second time I've been up there. Got to say, I was a little bit slow to start myself off, because, you know, a bit nervous, obviously. So for the next few moments, it will be a little bit slow, shall we say. But my confidence builds the further I go. What I will point out though, and it never shows it on the video, this is all uphill and it gets a bit steeper in a minute. And you're just not going to grasp that, I don't think, on this video. However, at the end of this run, I do turn around and come back down again. And at the beginning of the coming back down, hopefully that will give you an idea of the gradient going down through the woods of how steep it is. So I really am sort of leaning right over the front here just to get some weight on the front there and to not feel like I'm falling back. Another thing I was really conscious of was my body position. I've done a lot of kind of research on good old YouTube, how to position myself on the bike. So I was overthinking everything, unfortunately. Yeah, and I was going to put some cameras out to film myself, but yeah, no, I didn't do that, obviously. Next time I will, or maybe you can comment on my body position. But yeah, you know what it's like when you first start riding a bike, I guess. It's just so much to think about all the time. So I was constantly thinking about clutch, accelerator, my hips, my elbows, my feet position, my knee position. And I also find I was kind of straining quite a lot on my clutch hand. I think maybe partially because I was going uphill, I was really holding on. I guess I'm hoping the more I do, you know, I won't feel so strained in that hand and that wrist. Yeah, overdoing it a little bit. I need to relax a bit more, I think. Oh, and I do hope you enjoy my choice of soundtrack to accompany this stretch of off-road riding. Yeah, it's very funky. Okay, so now for the downhill run. One thing I learned from this is, yes, going up hills a lot easier than going down. So I was very, very careful at this beginning section. It was quite slow, but I'm hoping on this bend here you're going to be able to see, looking all the way down, how steep it is, how far up I've actually come. This bit I think really is the only section that really shows you how steep it is. And once I get to here, it kind of looks flat again. But no, it really was steep. I also find I'm kind of not struggling, but just need to get my head around the gearing of the bike. It's quite twitchy. Like second gear, going uphill was fine, but down here just a little bit of a twitch, and it gives an awful lot of power. So again, learning those, getting used to those controls. Yeah, well, that's about it actually. So I won't rattle on anymore because I do that a lot. So thank you so much again for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, and I'll let you enjoy this last about 100 yards, I guess, and I'll catch you in the next video.